Sitaram, and a pleasant good evening to each and everyone. Welcome to our Connecting Through Bhajans for this evening. At this point, I would like to invite Auntie Indra to do our opening prayer. Thank you.
Sitaram, everyone. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaram, Guru Sachar Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurudevam. Om Siddhi Buddhi Prada Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantramurti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
Thank you, Auntie Indra. So now I'd like to invite Auntie Chansi to do the next bhajan or kirtan for us, followed by Mrs. Ramdat, Auntie Joy, and Sanya. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. Jai Jai Guru Deva Shri Sai Mahadeva 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 Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Sai Mahadeva Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Sai Mahadeva Mata Pita Guru Deva Shri Sai Mahadeva Mata Pita Guru Deva Shri Sai Mahadeva Jai Jai 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 Guru Deva Shri Sai Mahadeva Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Sai Mahadeva Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Sai Mahadeva Sai Mahadeva Mata Pita Guru Deva Shri Sai Mahadeva Mata Pita Guru Deva Shri Sai Mahadeva Jai Jai Guru Deva Shri Sai Mahadeva 1000 pranams, Swami.
Jai Sitaram, everyone. धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, ओ धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा। जल में थार पिए नहीं मूरख, अच्छा जल है कासा, रामा अच्छा जल है कासा। जल में धार पिए नहीं मूर्ख, अच्छा जल है कासा, रामा अच्छा जल है कासा। अपने घर के मर्म न जाने, कर धोबिया आशा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, ओ धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा। छन में धोबिया रोवे धोवे, छन में हुए उदासा, रामा छन में धुए उदासा। छन में धोबिया रोवे धोवे, छन में हुए उदासा, रामा छन में हुए उदासा। अपने बरई कर्म के रसी, अपने गले के फासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, ओ धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा। सच्चा साबुन लिए नहीं मूर्ख, है संतन की पासा, रामा है संतन की पासा। सच्चा साबुन लिए नहीं मूर्ख, है संतन की पासा, रामा है संतन की पासा। दाग पुराना छूटत नाही, धोवत है बरमासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, ओ धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा। इस रखी के भोग लगावे, छोड़ दिए नवमासा, रामा छोड़ दिए नवमासा। इस रस्सी के जोर लगावे, छोड़ दिए नवमासा, रामा छोड़ दिए नवमासा। कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु, अछत अन्न उपासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, ओ धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा, ओ धोबिया जल बीचे मरत पियासा। जय सीताराम।
Sitaram. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole, Namah Shivaya. Rameshwara Shiva Rameshwara, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Rameshwara Shiva Rameshwara, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Gangadhara Shiva Gangadhara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Gangadhara Shiva Gangadhara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Jatadhara Shiva Jatadhara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Jatadhara Shiva Jatadhara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Vishweshwara Shiva Vishweshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Vishweshwara Shiva Vishweshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Bhuteshwara Shiva Bhuteshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Bhuteshwara Shiva Bhuteshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Staram.
Gopala, Lola, Murali Lola, Nandalala. Gopala, Lola, Murali Lola, Nandalala. Keshav Madhav Janardana, Keshav Madhav Janardana. Vanamala, Vrindavan Bala, Vanamala, Vrindavan Bala, Murali Lola, Nandalala, Murali Lola, Nandalala, Gopala, Radha Lola, Murali Lola, Nandalala. जनार्दना वनमाला वृंदावन बाला वनमाला वृंदावन बाला मुरली लोला नंद लाला मुरली लोला नंद लाला गोपाला राधा लोला मुरली लोला नंद लाला मुरली लोला नंद लाला मुरली लोला नंद लाला सीताराम।
Thank you all very much. Now I'd like to ask my mom to do the next one, followed by Auntie Mala and Sanea. Thank you.
Sitaram, everyone. Jan hitakari jai jai Ram, bhava bhaya bhanjan jai Shri Ram. Jan hitakari jai jai Ram, bhava bhaya bhanjan jai Shri Ram. Muni Maharakshak jai Shri Ram, Janamana Ranjan jai Shri Ram, Akila Vishwapati jai Shri Ram, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. Janhitakari jai jai Ram, Bhava Bhaya Bhanjan jai Shri Ram. Mahi Dukha Hari 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 Ram, Gau Brahmana Hitakari Ram, Santa Janana Sukhakari Ram, Dasharatha Nandana Jai Jai Ram. Janhitakari jai jai Ram, Bhava Bhaya Bhanjan jai Shri Ram. Patita Udharana Raghupati Ram, Danuja Vinashana Hari Ram, Bhakta Jano ke tum ho pran, Jai Raghunandan Jai Jai Ram. Janhitakari jai jai Ram, Bhava Bhaya Bhanjan jai Shri Ram. Janhitakari jai jai Ram, Bhava Bhaya Bhanjan jai Shri Ram. Thank you.
Sitaram. Bhasato ma saragame, tamasa ma jyotirgame, tira se mukti mile, niramala jivana kamala kile, vehe mrityu karanjan bhe, tamasa ma jyotirgame, masato ma saragame, tamasa ma jyotirgame, अंधकार का कर संहार, डरता पर भी करो प्रहार, अंधकार का कर संहार, डरता पर भी करो प्रहार, सदा ज्योत की ही हो जय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमे, मासतो मा सरगमे, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय करो तृप्यमान शुधा देकर आश्रय प्रेम सुधा करो तृप्यमा ज्ञान शुधा देकर आश्रय प्रेम सुधा कर दो जीवन अमृत में तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मासतो मा सरगमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय जीवन में दुख रहे न ले स्वर्ग बने वसुधा आदेश जीवन में दुख रहे न ले स्वर्ग बने वसुधा आदेश श्वास सांस हो मंगल में तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मासतो मा सरगमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय सीताराम
Sitaram. Govinda Gopala He Nandalala Govinda Gopala He Nandalala Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala Govinda Gopala He Nandalala Govinda Gopala He Nandalala Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाला मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाला गोवर्धन उतार गोपाल बाला गोवर्धन उतार गोपाल बाला राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल गोविंद गोपाल हे नंदलाला राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल सीताराम
Thank you all very much. So now I'd like to pass over to Sanya for our Bacho Ka Khan segment this evening.
Sitaram everyone and welcome to Bachu Kakan. Tonight our opening prayer will be done by Auntie Shabana.
Thank you, Sanya. So let's all clasp our hands, close our eyes. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sara Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Auntie Shabana. So tonight our presenters are Auntie Vanita, Ciara, and Ananda. Auntie Vanita will be doing a short story, Ciara will be singing the bhajan Gauri Ganesh, and Ananda will be doing a discourse. So I now pass over to Auntie Vanita for her short story.
The Ant and the Elephant. There once lived an elephant in a jungle. He was very arrogant and short-tempered. He was very proud of his strength and huge body. The other animals in the jungle feared him a lot. He enjoyed doing the things that showed off his strength and always troubled other small animals in the jungle. In that jungle, there also lived a family of ants in a tiny hole. The ants used to despise the elephant for his haughty nature. One day, when the ants were away to collect food, the elephant stopped them and sprayed a trunkful of water on them. The ants got angry and said, "You should not trouble others for your pleasure." The elephant shouted angrily and said, "You tiny creatures, keep quiet or I will crush you to death." Now the ants decided to teach the arrogant animal a lesson. They slowly crept under his trunk and spread to his ears and started biting him. The elephant became restless and started crying for help. None of the animals came forward to rescue him. They were happy to see him getting punished for his acts. He kept apologizing to the ants, but they continued to bite him. When they were sure that he has learned his lesson, they let him go and said, "This is how others feel when you hurt them." The ants marched off, leaving a wailing elephant there. Then on, the elephant never troubled anyone in the jungle. The moral of this story is, pride and arrogance never go unpunished. Sitaram.
Now we will have Ciara with her bhajan Gauri Ganesh.
Sitaram. Gauri Ganesh, Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandana Shri Ganesh. Gauri Ganesh, Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandana Shri Ganesh. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh. Gauri Ganesh, Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandana Shri Ganesh. Gauri Ganesh, Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandana Shri Ganesh. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh. Gauri Ganesh, Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandana Shri Ganesh, Parvati Nandana Shri Ganesh, Parvati Nandana Shri Ganesh. Sitaram.
Sitaram, everyone. Thought for the day as written in Prashanti Neelanam, July 19th, 2022. Obtained from Divine Discourse, February 27, 1961. What is the duty of those who call themselves a Bharatya? What must they sow, grow, store, and feed the universe with? Bhagwan lovingly and poignantly reminds us today. Be the master of your behavior. Do not be led away by impulses of the moment. Be conscious always of what is good for you. Carry on your daily tasks so that you don't make others suffer or suffer yourself. That is the sign of intelligent living. Don't give way to fits of anger, grief, elation, or despair. The confusion you exhibit is the result of dark and dull, tamasic, and emotional rajasic qualities. Be calm, unruffled, and collected. The more you develop charity for all beings, contrition at your own faults, fear of wrong, and fear of God, the more firmly established you are in peace. The very name Bharat is derived from two words, Bhagwan and Rati, attachment to God. That is why India has the role of being the teacher of the world. She is also known as the heart of humanity and revered by seekers. But how can those starving feed others? It is your duty to sow, grow, store, and feed the world with this great spiritual sustenance laid down in the Vedas and spiritual text. Though the culture of Bharat is ancient, it is ageless and relevant in the present. Hence, it should be practiced and propagated in every village. Sucharan, thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Benita, Ciara, and Ananda. We look forward. Thank you for participating, and we look forward to your continued participation. Thank you, and Sitaram.
Thank you all very much. So now I'd like to ask Auntie Chansey if she can do the next bhajan or kirtan for us, followed by Mrs. Ramdat, Auntie Joy, and Sanya. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Kudos to everyone who participated, and of course, also to Sanya for coordinating everyone. You all are making us very, very proud. This is what we would like to see, and I wish more children would take advantage of these opportunities. So my chant speaks again to the oneness of God. No matter what name you call him, or how you worship, it is still that one beautiful, compassionate, and loving God.
भव सागर से पार उतारो, भव सागर से पार उतारो, साईनाथ भगवान, साईनाथ भगवान, भव सागर से पार उतारो। अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर, अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर, सब नामों की एक है महिमा, सब नामों की एक है महिमा, सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे, सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे, साईनाथ भगवान, साईनाथ भगवान, भव सागर से पार उतारो, साईनाथ भगवान, भव सागर से पार उतारो। अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर, अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर, सब नामों की एक है महिमा, सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे, सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे, साईनाथ भगवान, साईनाथ भगवान, भव सागर से पार उतारो। नमस्ते।
Jai Sitaram again. शंकर तेरी जटा में, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, भोले तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, भोले तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, काली नता के अंतर, काली नता के अंतर जिमी दामिनी उजारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, भोले तेरी जटा में गलमुंड माल राजे, शशि भाल पे विराजे, गलमुंड माल राजे, शशि भाल पे विराजे, डमरू बिनार बाजे, डमरू बिनार बाजे, कर में त्रिशूल धारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, भोले तेरी जटा में शिव नाम जो उतारे, सब पाप दोष तारे, शिव नाम जो उतारे, सब पाप दोष तारे, ब्रह्मानंद बिना बिचारे, ब्रह्मानंद बिना बिचारे, भव सिंधु पार तारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, भोले तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में भोले है गंगा धारा, काली नता के अंतर, काली नता के अंतर जिमी दामिनी उजारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, भोले तेरी जटा में बहती है गंगा धारा, शंकर तेरी जटा में, शंकर तेरी जटा में। बोलिए शिव शंकर, बोलिए श्री शंकर भगवान की जय।
Staram. Tu hai ek tu anant, tera adi nahi ant. Tu hai ek tu anant, tera adi nahi ant. गाते साधु और संत, सीताराम सीताराम Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam. Bolo Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam. Jai Jai Ram, 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 Jai Jai Ram. तू है सागर समान तेरा नाम है महान. तू है सागर समान तेरा नाम है महान. जिसने लिया तेरा नाम उसके भले सारे काम. ओम श्री राम जय जय राम. Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam. Bolo Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam. Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Tu hai Shankar, tu hai Shyam, tu hai Vishnu, tu hai Ram. Tu hai Shankar, tu hai Shyam, tu hai Vishnu, tu hai Ram. कितना प्यारा तेरा नाम चलो गाते सुबह शाम. Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam. Bolo Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam. Jai Jai Ram, 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 Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram.
Sitaram. कृष्ण जिनका नाम है गोकुल जिनका दाम है ऐसे श्री भगवान को ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है बारंबार प्रणाम है कृष्ण जिनका नाम है गोकुल जिनका दाम है ऐसे श्री भगवान को ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है बारंबार प्रणाम है कृष्ण जिनका नाम है गोकुल जिनका दाम है यशोदा जिनकी मैया है नंद जी का भैया है ऐसे श्री गोपाल को ऐसे श्री गोपाल को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका दाम है। ऐसे श्री भगवान को, ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका दाम है। लूट लूट जबि माखन खायो, ग्वाल बाल संग दीनु चरायो। ऐसे लीला दाम हो, ऐसे लीला दाम हो, बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका दाम है। ऐसे श्री भगवान को, ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। द्रुपद सुता को लाज बचायो, रहस्य गज को पंड चरायो। ऐसे कृपा दाम हो, ऐसे कृपा दाम हो, बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका दाम है। ऐसे श्री भगवान को, ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। सीताराम।
Thank you all very much. At this point, I'd like to pass over to Auntie Chancy for our catechism piece this evening. Thank you.
Namaste again, everyone. So following from the piece that I did last week and for the last couple of weeks on Mahatma Gandhi's the 7 sins that he spoke about, and we addressed some of these in earlier talks. I'll just recap very, very quickly. Wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity. And today I'm going to look at religion without sacrifice. So we all know that he was a very powerful figure, an ethical human being, someone who believed in the equality of all, and he lived his dharma. So he really and truly earned that moniker Mahatma, because he truly was a great human being. So last week we looked at technology, science without humanity. And I just wanted to say a couple of things as we go forward. Now, for most of us, we are not producers. We don't create technology, but we use technology. And not because the technology exists, we must use it blindly. As consumers and environmentally conscious human beings, we should not be using products that we know are intrinsically destructive to ourselves, to humanity, as well as the living earth. And by this I mean things like aerosol cans that contain CFCs that we know has been proven destroys the ozone layer. Or, people's wanton overuse of plastics, whether they're bottles, bags, styrotex. We need to start looking at biodegradable products and so on. So we now have the power of choice. So not because the technology exists means we should use it. We need to rethink. And as Lord Krishna said, when we do have to use something, we use in moderation. Because there's no point in us utilizing things that will ultimately lead to our demise. So now, this evening, it's religion without sacrifice I'm going to look at. So what is Gandhiji speaking of? What type of sacrifice is this? For some, when religion and sacrifice occur in the same sentence, they automatically think of animal blood sacrifice. But understanding all that we know about our tradition and about Gandhi, is that really what we think Gandhi was referring to? Especially considering his stance on ahimsa and satyagraha. So what type of sacrifice? There are several interpretations. Firstly, it is a well-established and accepted understanding that nothing comes without some level of sacrifice. To be successful at school or at anything, we need to sacrifice things. We may sacrifice liming and other things. We dedicate more time to study. Same thing if we want to get a promotion or to do better in our jobs, we dedicate extra time. So to gain anything, we must sacrifice something. So in religion, what do we sacrifice? Understanding that our Lord is all compassion, love, and mercy. When he says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, when he promotes peace, togetherness, and non-violence, do you really think the Lord wants us to sacrifice a life to please him? All of these beautiful chants talk about Daya Sagara, Ananda Sagara, so many different phrases, so many different words to describe how beautiful, how loving, how forgiving, how compassionate our Lord is. I see peace. I see love when I look at the Lord. I don't see bloodlust. So what should we really sacrifice? If the purpose of our life is to attain moksha, how do we get there? The scriptures advise us on what to rid ourselves of and how to do it also. We hear so many beautiful songs about kama, krodha, lobha. We just had celebrated the Guru. And I always remember that bhajan, Guru Ji Ki Charanon Mein, and talks about all of this: greed, anger, hatred, jealousy, ill-speaking others, illegitimate desires, cruelty, arrogance, ignorance, selfishness, that we should avoid illegal activity, immorality, unethical and cowardly behavior. These are the things we need to sacrifice. We don't sacrifice an animal. How can we talk about love and non-violence and then we turn to do something like that? There's something very, very wrong there. Very wrong in our understanding of who our Lord is. We say one thing and we sing one thing and we recite one thing, and the doctrine says something, but what is the practice? When we sacrifice these negative qualities, what are we supposed to be gaining? Because we did say when we need to sacrifice things to gain something. But what would we like to gain? If we are true sadhakas and we want to grow spiritually, what do we need to do? By sacrificing those qualities, we need to become humble. We need to become caring, loving, kind. We need to gain true wisdom, to see God in all, to engage in seva, to be brave and fearless, and to stand for what is right. We need to be dharmic. So all of our life, there would be choices, and they're all prayers moments. And as I always keep saying, the road least taken, which is the Shreyas path, you risk unpopularity. You risk, people castigating you, laughing at you. But ultimately, what is important? We can't read the Bhagavad Gita and we learn about all of these things, and yet what are we doing? As Swami said, my life is my mission. Lord Krishna taught us what type of sacrifice was to be made. Right now we are facing in this world a crisis of truth, a crisis of decency, and a crisis of right conduct. It is all around us. And it is either we go the route of prayers and we don't rock the boat and we just go on, or we go on the route of Shreyas and we remain resolute in standing for what is right. These are the true tests. You can't have a separate set of values when you're in the mandir and a separate set of values when you're other places. You must be that same individual with those same values. This is why when Mahatma Gandhi described and enunciated these 7 sins, it is a comprehensive thing. He didn't look only in the spiritual realm. He was speaking about a complete individual in all spheres of life. And unfortunately, Gandhi was made to experience the ultimate sacrifice when he was assassinated by that Hindu fanatic. Because he stood for the equality of all human beings, irrespective of caste, religion, he was deemed not worthy to be living, and he was murdered. So if we are not prepared to make the necessary sacrifices to become closer to God, then we are merely going through the motions. We are attending mandir, but for all the wrong reasons. Or we are coming here to connecting through bhajans for all the wrong reasons. Spiritual growth is measured by the number of negative qualities that we sacrifice throughout our lives. It is an ongoing process. Having said that, we should not be moving at a snail's pace because we don't know how long we have. Empowerment begins with us, not an intercessionary like a priest or a pundit. They are merely there to guide us, but they cannot perform the actions that we should be performing. They can't perform our actions. We must all cultivate a personal relationship with God. Engage in satsang. What does that mean? People think it's only when you sit down and you sing and you listen to Ramayana. And yes, it includes that, but it also includes keeping good company. People who are moral, truthful, ethical human beings. We must try to surround ourselves with positive people who will have a positive impact on our lives. And also things that would empower us to transform ourselves. We must regard all stress moments as opportunities for sacrifice. This is the type of sacrifice that we need to be doing every single day. Sacrificing personal pleasure. And when I say personal pleasure, you know what I mean. When you go to the extreme, nobody's saying that you don't have a good time. But when you go to the extreme or they're illegitimate things, we must sacrifice complacency, apathy, and replace these by right action, spirituality, morality, ethics, and dharma, of course. So with this, I say namaste. I hope this has been useful, and that you would gain a greater appreciation for the greatness and the great stature of this man on the screen, great Mahatma Gandhi. Namaste.
Thank you, Auntie Chancy. So we'll have one more bhajan or kirtan before we close. So I'd like to ask Auntie Indra if she can do one for us, please. Thank you.
I hope I don't get problem with my iPad again. Sitaram again. And I'm going to sing a new bhajan. I mean, for me, first time I'm singing it. I hope if I make any mistake, just excuse me, and you could make correction also. मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे। मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे। यमुना मैया कारी कारी, राधा गोरी गोरी, वृंदावन में धूम मचावे बरसाने की छोरी। राजा धाम की राधा जो की राजधानी लागे, राजधानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे। कान्हा नित मुरली में तेरे समरे बारंबार, कोटि रूप धरी मनमोहन का हो ना पावे पार। रूप रंग की छबेली पत रानी लागे, पत रानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे। ना भावन मन के मन माखन मिश्री अब ना कोई मिठाई, मारे झबरियनी भाव अब तो राधा नाम मिलाए, रस भानु की ललितो गुण धानी लागे, गुण धानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे, राधा राधा नाम रोते हैं जब नारा तो यम, जिनकी बांध दूर करते है राधा राधा नाम, राधा नाम में सफल जिंदगानी लागे, जिंदगानी लागे, मन करो करो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे, मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन करो करो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे, मन करो करो यमुना जीरो पानी लागे. Sitaram, again to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Indra. So now I'd like to ask Auntie Mala if she can do our closing prayer for us this evening, please. Thank you.
Sitaram devotees, so we have once again come to the end of a most beautiful session. Bachoka Khan, the discourse by Dr. Chansey was most beautiful, and all of the songs, including the one that Auntie Indra just sang, very, very beautiful. Let us get ready to do our closing mantras for today. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriva Buddhatmana Va Prakrit Swabhava Karome Yatya Sakalam Parasme Narayanayati Samarapayami. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Shasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Sitaram.